morning, everyone. This is Mayank from the Nodal University Department of Civil Engineering. Earlier we have discussed about the structural design engineering, the basic course of the basic structural design of steel structures. And earlier we have discussed about the very basics and the prerequisites of starting the particular courses. And we have discussed about the basics of design and the definition of design, which we have discussed earlier. What are the issues involved in the design requirements, and we have seen the planning of that particular structural design. Now in this particular class we are going to discuss about the different projects and which is taken by a designer and how to execute that particular work of construction and different type of contracts which we'll see. Now going further, let's discuss about the projects. What is the project basically? Project is nothing but is having the four components of any projects. If you discuss about it, the four project components are basically the design process, the first one, which we have already discussed in the previous class. So what are the process of design? And the second is the contract and administrative work, and the third one is the fabrication and the construction, and the fourth one is the operation and the maintenance. That is the complete projects. When you start the projects, then we have to start from the designing processes, and the last part of that one is operation and the maintenance work. What is the design process? If we discuss about it, let's discuss. The design process is the way of figuring out what you need to do, then doing it. So that is the process in a way to figure out to how to do what we need to do, and then we have to do it. That is the design process which we have seen already in the previous class. Then second one is the contract and administrative work. What is the contract and administrative work? A contract administrator manages the contract made between the building contractor, employees and the clients. Their responsibility is to administer the construction contract, whereby they must act as a project manager, engineer, consultants and the client representatives. So that is the basic contract and administrative work which we have to deal with it. The third one is the fabrication and the construction. What is the fabrication and construction? Fabrication in the construction, the fabrication is an item that is manufactured by a fabricator for the installation on a building site as per an ongoing construction project. For example, if you take the fabrication work is nothing but the window work, the door, steel members, staircase and so on. That is the work of fabrication and the construction projects. Then after that we have to, when you done with these fabrication and construction, then we have to operationalize that particular structure and maintain that particular part. So what is maintenance is basically, the maintenance is the upkeep of property, machinery, system and the facility, including the building, utility and infrastructure, roads and the grounds. So we have to maintain, we keep up the property to be useful up to their service life of the particular structure. So these are the components of our projects. So first we have to do the design processes, complete the design processes. Then second one is the contract and administration. We have to give the contract and give the administrative work. We have to do it. And then after that, what you have to do, we have to construct that one, and the fabricating of the structure will be done. After completing these three parts, we have to operationalize that particular structure, and the maintenance will start from that point to the service life of the particular structure. Going further, there are the projects. If we discuss about one by one, the four basic component of the particular projects. If we talk about the design processes, the design process is having the functional design and the initial planning, the criteria for the selections. So these are the part of the design process. The first is the functional design we have to give. In that particular part, we have to initially planning that particular design processes. Then after the criteria and the selection of the material, the dimensions, everything which we have done at the time of starting of design processes. The second one is structural design, the functional design. The first one is the functional design. Design processes having the two parts, the two components. The functional design, which is having the initial planning, in which we have to do the criteria, what are the criteria we are having, and the selection of the sites and everything. The second one is the structural design. Then we have to do the structural design. The structural design is having the primary and the final design. What is the primary design? Is it's having the design loads. We have to discuss about the design loads, what kind of a structure, what is the need of the structure, and what is the requirement of the structure. Then second one is the structural systems and its arrangement. We have to, that is discuss about it. We have to take care of the structural systems and the arrangement. If we have the structural system, what kind of structural system should be? It is a structural structure, it should be a steel structure or the concrete structure or the masonry structure, whatever it will be, or the wood structure, whatever it is, as per the requirement, as per the functional design. Then we have to choose a circular system and its arrangement accordingly. Then after that we have to discuss a design about the member sizes. That is the preliminary design, which I have discussed already in the design and analysis part. The member sizes that I mentioned of the member should be decided at the time of preliminary design. Then the fourth one is the approximate cost and comparison. So we have to check it out. When these three parts, basic design loads, structural system, and the member sizes is decided, it means it's secured the safety factor. Then second one's come the economy. Then we have to approximate the cost comparison between the different materials which we use for the design. Going further, when we're done with the primary design, then we have to go for the final design processes, which is comprising of the three basic parts. When we design, which we have already discussed in the previous class, which comes first, the design and the analysis. Now from this slide you will clear about it, which comes first, which we have to do the primary design. We have to go for the analysis part of the design. So when in analysis, when we design, the preliminary design is done, then we have to go for the analysis of the structure. The second was the element and structural proportioning. We have to do with it. Then after that, when you come done with this all analysis and the structural proportioning, element proportioning, then we have to get the proper design, drawing, and specific actions, etc. is given in the foolproof design. That is the design process we have to deal with. These are the two parts: the functional design and the second one, the structural design. Now, the second component of the particular project is the contract and administrative work. Construction and contract and administrative work. It was having the contract document preparation to give that contract to the particular contractor to construct that particular structure. Now, the second is the contract letting, and the third one is the subcontracting. So these are the components we have to deal with it. So and the third one, that is the administrative work. Then we have to plan accordingly. Third one, the fabrication and the construction. Now, the first fabrication and the construction, this is the important part to do with it. When you're done with the design process and the contracting, then the next part will be the construction of the particular structure or the building, you can say. That is having the fabrication and construction, having the soft drawing, then second the shop fabrications, and the field fabrications, and the constructions. So before the construction of any structural member or any building, so what we have to do, we have to make a shop drawing where all the works, the fabrication work should be done, just like molding of structural member components and steel bars. That everything will be done in that particular shop drawing, in the shop fabrication actions. And then after that we have to go for the construction. Then after that we have the last part, which I have already discussed about it, the operation and the maintenance of the particular structure till their service life of the structure. Going further, we have the design processes. So design processes is having basically the iterativeness and the functional design, which gives the initial planning of the particular structure, which we have discussed earlier, and the structural design, which I have already discussed about the preliminary design and the final design. What is the design process? It is nothing but an idea or the concept of planning a building based on the principles of architecture and the accordance with the functional served by it, according with the function served by it. That is the design processes we have to go with. That is the process of iterativeness, which we have discussed already. That is the iterative processes. It means if the structure is safe for the given load on it, and as per the analysis report, if it is safe, then it's okay. Go for the next part, which is the economical part. If it is not safe, then you have to go again for the functional design part, initial planning part, or the preliminary design part. Then after that, go for the final design part. If everything is proved, it means it is, if the structure is safe, found to be safe as per the IS codes, and it is economical, then we have to go for the construction part and the fabrication part of the particular structure. Further, the functional design, it is having the different parts which is given in that particular slides. that it is serves. What is a functional design? Functional design, nothing with it is serves its intended purposes for that particular structure is built for. This initial planning and design is a feasibility study, practicability, site selection, facility requirements, based use of land, type of structure which we are using, just like the structures configurations, the systems, and the material which is used for the construction of the particular material structure. The next one is the environmental impact. The particular structure will have the environmental impact. The very initial example of that particular environmental impact is the collapse of the subaqueous structure in the Node city area, which have done by the one of the reason of demolishing that particular structure is their environmental impact to the nearby area. Then next one is the budget and economy, which we have to discuss about because we all know about it. What is the basic priority of any design engineer? Was the safety part, and we should not be compromising that part. The second one is the economy. So budget and economy is always be kept in mind at the time of designing. Then after that we have to project management, which is a very important part. Project management, managing the project to finish that particular project in the limited time period, to the specific time period. That is the time scheduling of the particular structure. So that is a proper figure which is given here, which deals with any functional design of any structure, which is compromising of these kind of peoples at the time of design. So that is owner, having the government bodies which should also be there, the builders will there, planner are there, structural engineer will be there, the other engineers which deals with the particular construction and design part, which should be there at the time of functional design. Now the next one is the structural design, which we have already discussed about. What is the structural design? Structural design, architect and structural design. This is art and science, which I have already discussed about it. The primary design is having the load stabilizement, identification of principal members, final selection of the structural member, rough design, and after that we'll give the full group design of that particular structure. Now, then after that we have to discuss about the structural engineering, and which structural design part, which is structural engineers which applied their science and give a foolproof design of any structure. The final design is a detailed structure analysis and design, refinement, alternation, and corrections which we have done for the loads, member and systems, and iterations for the safety and economy of the particular structure, which is nothing but the experienced persons, experienced engineers, intuitive feeling. Then after that we go for the design, the drawing of the particular design. Then after that we have go for the cost estimation. What is the cost estimation of design? Then after that construction bid is given, which is the contract and administrative work, which is followed by that. Then after that fabrication and the construction. Then after that the operation and maintenance of the work, which will be carried out for particular construction of the particular projects. I am going for what is the role of a structural engineer. So these are the particular role of the construction engineer. He should be setting in the initial planning phase, preliminary design, final design. He will give it. Then after that, contract and administration work, he should be there for the cost and contract letting and the subcontracting. Fabrication and the construction, he should be there at the time of fabrication and the construction also, because his expertise will be required at the time of this construction time. Then after that, the maintenance and operations, if they feel there should be any problem with the particular structure, the structural engineers consultation should be required at the time of operation and the maintenance also. Going further, this is the responsibility of the structural engineer. They can see the responsibility of the structural engineer, the technical one, the administrative, economic, and social and political also. Political means was the people living that particular area, the construction site, and which is the laborer which works there. So then they have to deal with it every day by day problems. So he should be responsible for that particular projects, the overall projects of the particular place. Now going for the next one, the essentials. So it should be structural engineer should have what the essentiality or the eligibility of being a good structural engineer. So it should have a creative ideas. It should have a good technical knowledge about which I have discussed about at the time of definition of the design, and it should bear the personal commitments towards the work and the professional ethics. So these are the essentials of any structural engineer. So if you have any query about this particular course or the class, which the second class of the particular design or basic design of steel structures, so you can contact me on my mail ID, which is mayank.wright@nio.in. Till now, we'll meet in the next class. Till now, goodbye.